as the final two candidates in 2 weeks' time at the runoff. We saw Emmanuel Macron reaching over 27% of the vote in the first round. Marine Le Pen getting just under 24%. Both of them up on their last votes in 2017. But let's talk about what could happen next with Dr. Francoise Boucek, who's a visiting research fellow at the School of Politics and International Relations at Queen Mary's University, London. Good morning to you, Francoise.
Good morning.
Thank you so much indeed. And thank you for holding on while we're having that conversation. Were you surprised by the numbers, the result last night?
Not very surprised. It was expected that those two, Macron and Le Pen, would probably be the finalists for the runoff. But I was surprised in the size of the vote for Jean-Luc Mélenchon, the extreme right candidate.
Extreme far left, Mélenchon on the left.
Yes. Far left, and also Valérie Pécresse, the candidate of the Republican Party, the old conservative Gaullist party, one of the mainstream parties during the post-war period, which she actually scored less than 5% of the vote, so she won't even get campaign expenses reimbursed. So those were the two shocking...
well, indeed. I mean, and again, the people have likened it to, with the collapse of the socialist vote and the Republican, the sort of mainstream conservative vote, the fact that these two parties have basically shared out the presidency in recent decades, the fact that they collapsed their vote to 7% between them, it would be like the Conservatives and the Labour Party are having only 7% of the vote. It's an extraordinary outcome.
It's not quite, if I may interrupt, they still have a lot of strongholds regionally.
Yes.
And of course, we have the parliamentary elections that will follow the runoff for the presidential. And that's where those parties actually probably can stand to still gain fair representation.
Right, and again, I've got those coming up very soon. But Jean-Luc Mélenchon from the far left on just under 22%. There was some thoughts last night that he might possibly have made it into second place. But the key question will be where his votes go. A lot of the parties on the right obviously saying vote Le Pen, other more mainstream parties saying vote for Macron. But Jean-Luc Mélenchon, he could be the kingmaker or the queenmaker, couldn't he? He said, don't vote for Marine Le Pen, but he's not endorsed Macron.
He hasn't. He was so strongly pushing the message last night in his concession speech, do not give your voice to Le Pen. But he never mentioned Macron by name, and he never gave any indication to his supporters that they should vote for him. So I think we might see a large abstention rate among those voters. They are really mainly the young.
There is not much enthusiasm for Macron. He's very popular on the world stage as it's like the same we have with Justin Trudeau in Canada. You get the impression internationally that they're very popular. In fact, in their own countries, not really very much so at all. Macron won 2/3 of the vote last time round, but only because he was up against Le Pen. It's looking much closer. 51-49, one poll has put it at.
That's right. Yes, for the runoff, it looks like it might be a very, very close margin of victory for either one of them.
Who is your money on?
Well, I'm not a betting person. So
if you had to put your house on it.
Okay. I would say Macron as I think the probability of his re-election is
We shall talk to you again after the fact. Dr. Francoise Boucek, thank you very much indeed. 8:48 is the time. We'll talk about the latest trans stories, and there are so